Alright, hello and welcome to another comparison between SFO and vanilla, and we're looking at Balthasar Gelt. Gelt remains preeminent sorcerer. There are a few changes to vanilla if you do play as Gelt. Effectively, they just really seem to weaken him a little bit. He's still extraordinarily powerful, but we'll go through the minor changes. We're going to take a look first of all at the Lord and faction powers. Alright, let's see, where's my image here? So on the left here we have the vanilla, and then on the right we have the SFO version. So colleges of magic, as far as I can tell, I haven't really looked too deeply, the costs and the effects for the College of Magic are the same. Woods of Magic Power Reserve +5 for each wizard, lord or hero in an army, and of course that's what really helps to boost your magic capacity. But then here's the large change. You can see in vanilla you have hero recruit rank +2 for battle wizards. What that permits you to do is get to the meaty spell for every wizard that you recruit. So you can get straight to Aranan's Thunderbolt. You can get straight to Life Bloom. You can get straight to Flock of Doom, depending on the school of magic that you pick. So if you use Gelt in SFO, you get hero capacity instead of rank, and all that really means is that you can get a couple of extras recruited if you don't use his primary ability, which is to recruit using his tomes. So this is almost completely and totally pointless. I'm assuming that's an artifact left over from the old school, so there's no benefit there. That's a bit of a nerf. Down here you can see 25 for spellcasters is the same, 20% lore of metal, that's the same, and armor in his own army is the same. Where Gelt has been made stronger is this outstanding ability right here to increase the accuracy, rate of fire, and range for artillery that has 80% or more ammo. So you use this in combination with engineers, and you can have Hellstorm batteries with well over 500 range, pretty decent accuracy, and that's what you're looking for. You just want to keep them above that 80% ammo to keep that, and that allows you to outgun almost anybody from anywhere. You don't really have any issue with sieges. You can take down towers, you can take down critical units from well outside the defender's range. So Gelt himself, he has had some changes in his skill tree, so let's go and take a look at those. Let's get my image up here that I can take a look at to do some comparisons. So he gets Tempered Aura at 12, that's pretty much the same. It comes with physical resistance 10% and the passive Tempered Aura, which is, you can see, I hate when you have to wait for that thing. You can see here that's an increase to the armor of those around him. Okay, so nothing major changing in there. The biggest change is going to be to the costs of spells. I'll get my image to move here. There we go. So Searing Doom here, you get the original Searing Doom, it's going to cost you 10. In vanilla, Searing Doom is far cheaper, it only costs 5. This isn't really that big of a deal because you're going to have a great access to a much larger magic pool than prior to than you would in vanilla. However, there is a serious cooldown on the Searing Doom in SFO. You can see that it's 90 seconds. Now, with all the updates that you can get, updating the spell itself here, cooldown 50%, so it'll cut it down to 45. You can use your Lore Master of Metal here. You can get your cooldown to Lore of Metals as another 25%, 75%. So eventually you can get the cooldown and the cost of Searing Doom and Gehenna way down, so that you're casting them almost completely all the time, just as you are in vanilla effects. Probably the biggest change to those of you who've used a lot of Gelt in the past is going to be the change down here to final transmutation. Final transmutation is an area effect. It affects large numbers of entities in vanilla. Let's see if I can bring up the actual stat listing here. It's got a cost of 14, a radius of 35 meters, lasts 8 seconds, and does 66 to 133 DPS to everybody within it. Now, if you look at it here, final transmutation, okay, is escalating 15, then 10, then 5 seconds, but it affects up to one entity. So it's really now become something that you're going to use against the enemy lord or an enemy hero. But look at that, you can reduce the speed in the melee defense, so you can get in there and start fighting it. You slow them down again and reduce more, and then finally you get them to where they can't move, so you can hunt them down. You could use a death wizard to I can't remember the name of the spell. The one where you just cast it on one single entity. You can get your Imperial Captain in there to attack them. But again, this is only going to be a single unit. You can cut it down, cast it as upgraded. It does have a 50% miscast chance, but Gelt himself has the spell mastery, and he has arcane mastery to reduce his liability for miscasting. So this is probably the biggest change and the biggest nerf to any of his spells, because you can't use it now to reduce the armor and the defense on huge numbers of enemies, including potentially hero squads. He's got greater arcane conduct. He's got all the regulars that he normally would have. But the major changes to Gelt are going to be the loss of the initial boost to his heroes that he can recruit through the School of Magic. So he has a slight change to the skill tree from the other lords, of course. He's going to want to go for this one first in all likelihood, because you want to get the spellcaster experience for all those lords, those heroes you're going to have. And then he's got his own thing here. He's going to increase his arcane assays for Elspeth. That's going to be the currency that increases her gunnery school, and for Franz that's going to improve the effect of all of his dictats. But everything else in here is going to be the same as it is for any of the other Imperial Lords. So this is the only changes. So an increase to the arcane assays per battle, and then here an increase to the number of Cataclysm spells. Now that's pretty good, because a Cataclysm spell is a one-off use for quite a large number of spell tomes. So doubling that is going to be a good investment. You can see here that that's a further 20 turns of research after the original. If we go back into the skill tree, that's not the skill tree, you idiot. If we go back into the skill tree for Gelt, you can look at action, and you can find here that you've got multiple levels of Will of the Patriarch. For instance, in here, 50% action cost plus 10% action chance. So you can have a good cadre of your wizards running around doing increased research to get that to move pretty quickly. You've got 2 levels of Golden Face Mask. The first one, 15 armor, 5 bonus versus infantry. In here, 30 armor, 10 bonus versus infantry. You're going to want to use Gelt as a combatant early on, maybe later on to fight some enemy units. Going to have some backup from your heroes. And then the new formulations, this is outstanding. Explosive missile damage and missile radius for Hellstorm, and then that's all doubled. Now he starts with a Hellstorm. It can be a little difficult to get to them, but they're definitely going to be worthwhile. So overall, Gelt's been made a little more difficult, like a number of units in SFO, but for the most part, none of it really hurts him that much. The bonus to his artillery is going to be really, really nice, so getting him a couple of extra units of artillery will be outstanding. You can see here that is a faction mechanic, so the units don't have to be in Gelt's army. They can be with any engineer. You can bring an engineer along and have him use them. The engineer lord themselves can also boost the artillery. So you can have a siege train that goes along with Gelt's magic train. It makes him the king of sieges, and of course in battle you want to get him a front line so he can destroy enemy units with his magic. All right, thank you very much.